Welcome back to Taival Outdoors. Today we'll talk about my Hill People Gear original kit bag version 2. What exactly do I carry inside of it, what kind of modifications I've done to it, and why I carry it every time I go outdoors. Alright, so this is Hill People Gear original kit bag version 2, and it is my second kit bag from Hill People Gear. I've been wearing these for at least 3 years now, and there is no going back for me. Before jumping into it, what I carry inside of this kit bag, I'd like to say a few words about why I carry the kit bag itself. I consider this to be extension of my first line of gear. And if you're unfamiliar with the line system, the 3 lines of gear, I will leave a link down in the description to Varusteleka's great article about it. But in a nutshell, this is where I carry most of the things that I want to have on my person at all times, regardless of the season, regardless of what I'm wearing, or generally speaking, what I'm even doing outdoors. So everything that is absolutely essential travels with me at all times in this kit bag. Now this is pretty handy for numerous reasons, but to give a simple example, I don't have to move things around between jackets or between my pants or whatever, depending on the season. During summer months, I might go out wearing just shorts and t-shirt. So obviously I have less of pocket space and things like that available for me, but it doesn't matter. I can just throw this on and have everything that I need right there. And of course, I have to mention that the original main purpose for these kit bags were, of course, concealed carry, because Hill People Gear is an American company, but I live in Finland. Concealed carry isn't really a thing around here. Generally speaking, when I'm out in the woods, I feel fairly safe. All in all, I rarely see anyone, depending on the forest where I go. And regarding predators, we do have bear, wolves, lynx. That's about it. And none of those things really pose a threat for an outdoorsman. If you just be smart about where you move, how you move. If you suspect there's going to be bears or something around, just talk out loud and things like that. So you should be fairly safe even without a weapon on you. But before showing what I have inside here, I just want to quickly give a closer look of this loop panel that I've attached here to the front of this kit bag. I was originally looking for the Hill People Gear Search and Rescue kit bag, which would have had this loop panel and some PALS webbing in the front as well, but at the time it was sold out everywhere for a long time. So I figured I will just get this original kit bag. It's a good design, almost identical to the Search and Rescue version, and just attach this loop panel there. All right, so let's start looking the inside of this kit bag. First, the innermost pocket. This is the concealed carry pocket. It's not deep, it doesn't have really any sleeve pockets or anything inside of here. So what I usually keep here is my extra GoPro batteries, power bank, or even my wallet, things that I want to keep close to my body to let the body heat handle the batteries and things like that. And when I'm not using it, I just have this zipper all the way down here, and this flap folded over the zipper, so in fact you cannot even tell that there is a pocket close to my body. And it's also out of the way when I'm using this bag for other purposes. Then the main compartment, this is where the magic happens. I have my Garmin GPS eTrex 30X. This is Garmin's own kind of a leash system. They had some fancy name for it, but anyway, it has hook, and as the whole back side of this kit bag is loop panel, I can just leave the GPS there. Moving on this carabiner, I have an emergency whistle, extra lamp, old school Maglite Solitaire, I think it was called. Yeah. A little something if I need to look at the map or something like that and don't want to use the full brightness on my headlamp. Then Toaks titanium spoon. I found that this is an excellent place to hold your spoon so it doesn't get lost in your pack or whatnot. Exotac ferro rod, excellent quality rod with big handle. And this is actually a leather strop. I found that it's pretty much pointless to carry some type of a sharpening stone, even a small one, out in the woods, because all you need to maintain your blade edge is just a good strop. So this has two different sides and has been working well for me. Doesn't weigh anything at all, very lightweight, handmade construction. And behind all of these I have, in a small ziplock bag, a backup lighter and some emergency tinder. Good to keep those in hand and hope that I never need these. This orange panel itself is made by Prometheus design Werx. And over here I have Leatherman single. I used to carry this on a Kydex sheet that went to this molly or pulse, laser cut pulse loops. But I figured the sheath is just extra bulk and weight and I don't really need that. And since this has a belt loop, I might just well use that to attach it here. However, because this Leatherman weighs a lot, I noticed that it started to drag down this backing, so I reinforced it with a strip of Velcro one wrap material. Then moving on, one of my absolutely favorite features of this kit bag setup that I have. First of all, note that even though the zipper is pulled all the way down, it stays like this. It never flaps all the way over. Very great design. And over here I have a map pocket. This is standard A4 map, but of course you can fold bigger maps inside of this as well. This map pocket was shown to me by a fellow called Spartan Tactical, I believe, on Instagram, that he was using a similar setup to this, and I had to ask, what is that map pocket? That is absolutely perfect. Why I didn't think of that myself, I don't know. But anyway, it's made by Zuly nylon gear. And everything that I mentioned here is down in the description as well, so you can go check those things out if you want to build a similar setup as this. But this map pocket is what really makes this whole kit bag setup excellent for navigation. So I have my GPS, but it's mainly there to track my location, not so much for navigation. Map is of course the main navigation tool. I can easily look at where I am, don't have to find map from my backpack, from my pockets or anything. It's there, it's rainproof, and if I need to navigate more and use my compass, the next stop behind the map itself is my Suunto MC2, so I can just open up the map, put compass on top and navigate my merry way around. And besides compass, the final part of this pocket is here. I just have an emergency space blanket with me at all times. Then moving on to the small front pocket. Here I have Modestone notepad, Rite in the Rain pen. I always carry some extra snacks and hand warmers just in case. And then down here some extra fire starting material, so I have still one WetFire cube and some fat wood. So to sum up things we've seen so far, I have ways to navigate, I have GPS, map pocket and a compass. I have emergency fire starting materials, 2 different ways of starting fire, and tinder. I have one cutting tool, which is the Leatherman. I have emergency snacks, hand warmers, and of course a notepad as well. So all in all, things that I want to keep with me at all times. For example, let's take a scenario that I would be doing a water crossing with my backpack on. If I fall down, lose my backpack that goes downstream, I still have ways to navigate. I still have ways to make fire. I have dry tinder. I have a cutting tool if I need one to feed the fire. Actually, the saw blade on Leatherman Single is really good to cutting up small branches and such. And I even have the emergency space blanket, so I can cover up myself or do a small mini survival shelter if need be, if I cannot find my backpack in time. And I have small light that I can use, so I can do a bit of work, a bit of navigation or whatever during the night. I have extra food with me and hand warmers to keep me warm. Everything here in quite small package on me at all times. Anything extra, more weight to this, I feel like, although in terms of materials and build quality the kit bag can take it, it starts to ride quite high down there and can start to pinch your neck a bit. And all in all, I want this to be quite high on my chest, and I don't want to have any type of belly pack. This is a chest rig, not a belly rig, okay? Only thing that I'm lacking, which I'm very aware of, is first aid stuff. But I figured, since I have a really good first aid kit with me in my rucksack, or actually on a rucksack waist belt, the only thing I feel like that I cannot improvise during any circumstances, especially if it's an emergency or I've lost my rucksack and my first aid kit, is of course a tourniquet. And that is what I carry down here. This is Tasmanian Tiger tourniquet pouch, and inside of it is my cat tourniquet. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the pouch itself is quite easy to open with just one hand. Tourniquet doesn't fall out because it's still attached with this small elastic loop, and it's ready to be used, deployed and used quite quickly. The reason why I got this Tasmanian Tiger pouch is because it covers the tourniquet completely. So no dirt, snow or sunlight can impact the functionality of the tourniquet itself. However, the downside is that this pouch is quite bulky and it widens up to this direction. And I know that North American Rescue has a bit similar design, but it doesn't offer complete protection from the elements. So I'm still a bit on the fence if I should upgrade this Tasmanian Tiger pouch to that North American Rescue one. So that is my Hill People Gear original kit bag version 2 loadout. The reasons why I carry it, what I carry inside of it, and what kind of modifications or add-ons do I have on it. If you have any further comments, questions or ideas how I could improve my kit without adding tons of bulk or weight to it, please leave a comment down below. I would be interested to hear your thoughts about this and Hill People Gear kit bags in general. My name is Joel. You have been watching Taival Outdoors. Thank you so much. I will see you all in the next one.